and something else. But good for you, Karen. You got it farther than it. Yeah. Tell you what. Oh, there we go. I was just about to say we don't need no slides. Okay. Together we will say we are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us, and something else. Turn to somebody else and say, I honor the path that brought you here this morning. Okay, and want to thank our technical crew here for really trying to cover this very quickly, because if you have not looked at our online on our YouTube channel, the work that they do, as well as Randy with the sound, is really phenomenal. I was watching it the other night. We're becoming like a media center. So go to our YouTube channel and look what they put up there. It's absolutely fantastic. Okay, our weekly schedule will at some point or another appear on the screen. You'll be able to read it. You'll see what's going on. Lots of the same stuff with some minor variations. How about that for summing it up? Let's talk a little bit about the journals. This is the last week. If you would like to get the Center for Spiritual Mind journal, oh, there we go. It's like when you watch a TV show and the dubbing is off, the voice is going at one time. There we go. Now we're moving. If you would like to get the journal, that's what the 2023 journal looks like. Please let me know by today. I will be ordering them. We have 5 so far. They're really great if you like keeping a history of what we're doing. Room for reflections. They're $14.95 each. Tax and shipping will depend. Well, tax will be standard, but shipping will depend on how many we get. Burl, you want one too? Okay. So I'll have the sign-up sheet in the social hall. Please sign up. And let me make a note of Burl. Okay, we got that. All right, next up. Yoga with Kathy is now twice a week. So if you'd like to learn how to do yoga, I'm going to teach you your first pose. It's a very difficult pose. There you go. Mountain pose, Tadasana. I feel better already. My only other favorite pose is the corpse pose, which I do every night for not enough hours. Anyway, there are now twice a week Kathy is doing it, so feel free to attend either session. Highway cleanup will be with Kathy doing yoga at the same time. Go to the next one. There we go. Highway cleanup. That's led by Max. Is he around here today? I do not see Max.
No, he's online.
Hi Max. We will be doing that, or Max will be leading that on November 12th. That's next week. Speaking of next week, that will be Zoom Sunday for our folks in Ukiah. You will have the honor of seeing Reverend Angelica in person. We will all see her in little boxes. So remember next Sunday when you get up that we will be on Zoom here, live in person in Ukiah. Art with Louise is coming up. Louise is in here. I saw that, and yes, I know, but I was looking for this slide. As soon as we get, there we go. We got that's how most of us sleep, isn't it? I wear a tie, a long sleeve shirt. Oh, it's no pants. It's no pants. I just got that. Are you coming up to say something?
Just you. Marvin is trying to get us on Zoom, so he can't be working on the slides right now.
Okay.
So why don't you tell one of your great stories?
Tell one of my great stories? Yeah. No, that's not what they want. I have been told, stop with the...
Well, we have some veterans in the
I have been told, stop with the stories.
Tell us about the origin of Veterans Day.
Oh. Yeah, let's let Louise talk about her class. Exactly. Louise, would you be so kind as to come up here and talk about your class?
Okay. I will. Next one. Art.
But you need to sing.
Oh.
It's not even on the list. It's just...
This special announcement is suddenly brought to us. Okay, so we'll get to you, Louise. You get to feel as uncomfortable as I do right now. Community Sing, that's November 16th. Okay, so that's
Talk first and she's standing there.
all the different centers. Well, because Louise's slide is coming up next, so that's what I was stretching for. Okay, Louise, it's yours.
Oh, it's mine.
Please,
Okay.
save us all.
Yeah. I know this just feels really different. I wanted to say funny, different. Okay, I know this looks real sloppy, but I call this from sloppy to super. We're going to be doing some abstract cards where it's kind of like an assembly line type of thing. And we'll be doing 9 all at one time. And really and I didn't want to show you what it's going to look like because I want you to join the class. So we're going to be doing I'm going to call it winter landscape kind of thing. So it will be possibly Christmas cards or whatever. So we will be meeting, I forget which date, what does it say?
Saturday 19th.
The 19th, okay, on Zoom from 10 to noon. So if you are interested, you don't need any artistic ability at all, because I'll talk you through it and walk you through it, and we will paint together. So please join me, and it should be a lot of fun. Thank you.
We have a question in the back.
Yes?
Wouldn't we need some art supplies in our house if we're doing it on Zoom?
Repeat the question.
I'm sorry?
Do we need supplies? Don't we need art
Yes,
supplies
if,
at home?
yes, if you have not had a class with me before and you are interested, please email me or call me or talk to me. And if you get on my list, you will automatically be sent a supply list, a short overview as to what the class is about. I have a list of about 30 people that I contact about this class. And I think someone else had a question.
No, I was trying to make sure you got her.
Oh, okay. Okay, so anyway, see me later if you are interested in the class and have not taken a class with me before. So, thank you.
Thank you, Louise.
Okay, Scott, they have audio and video now.
They have audio and video. We have audio and video. Although it did sound kind of ominous to get on Louise's list. That was something I've tried to avoid for a long time. I don't want to be on Louise's list. All right, Homecoming Sunday with the Aloha Music Concert. Sign up will also be in the social hall, the other room.
No, the sign, oh yeah, I guess.
Yeah, well, I saw it over there, that's why I assume. And then, did you want to say anything about it, Angelica?
This is gonna be,
I'm hoping that some of you will invite people who used to come that no longer come to come back. And those of you who have been wanting people to come, invite them as well. That we're calling it Homecoming Sunday. We're going to be doing a couple of special things, and one is you will be having a luncheon and then a Hawaiian concert. Wayne is going to be playing during the service, so you get to have a little taste of his music, and then his concert is about an hour and a half, or between an hour and a half. So come and enjoy a really fun Sunday.
Good. Thank you, Angelica.
and there is a sign up for his concert. I guess it's on the table in the social hall.
Which is where the others will be, the other sign-ups too. Speaking of which, Thanksgiving dinner will be here at the center for those people who would like to attend. It is a potluck. Please, when you sign up, mention what you will bring. We have got guests. Oh, there we go, Thanksgiving dinner. Look at that fancy slide. All right, guest speaker. Let's see what this slide is about, because I don't... Oh, yes.
Question from Max, is there choir practice today?
Yes, there is.
There is choir practice today. Immediately after service. Thank you. Thank you for responding to that. Karen will be our guest speaker on the 27th. That'll be something to look forward to. Yeah. Did you want to say anything about it, Karen? You could be our guest speaker now.
So as many of you know, I'm in ministerial school. I've been giving talks. I've given a few in Phoenix, and this will be my first official talk here in California. So I'm excited to be the not-so-guest speaker later this month.
All right, speaking of sign-up sheets, our holiday exchange, we're getting a nice response to this. The free holiday decoration exchange will be December 3rd. It's a Saturday from 10 to noon. If you, as the expression goes, if you can...
Noon to 4, by the way.
What was that?
It says noon to 4.
Oh yeah, noon to 4 is what I meant. If you can only go to one event for the center all year, what's wrong with you? But if you can only go to one event to the center all year, this is the one to attend. It is just joy. It is the spirit of the holidays. It is just giving out free decorations. And we need people to be involved in that, to experience the joy. We need people who are going to donate. We need some help with publicity. We will need people staffing. We will need putting away. Well, hopefully we're going to find another organization that what we don't give away, they will take. So if you'd like to be involved, the sign-up sheet will be in the other room. Yes, bro.
Can we also just trade?
Can you trade?
Yeah, bring someone.
Well, of course. Yeah, our theme is leave whatever you want, take whatever you need. So that'll be really, really nice. The bookstore. Books make great gifts, go buy them. All right, we got that out of the way. I was noticing as I was looking at the bookstore, we're going to need to do something because they're getting faded from where they are. So the little pantry needs to be fed so we can help our community. If you can donate anything to the little pantry, please do so, non-perishable, or bring it by on Monday. Walk and Awe feeds our little pantry so we can feed the community. And I think that's it for the announcements, short of will we have the new theme today? Da-da-da-da! Our new theme is the little pantry. There we go. Our new theme is home. So that's going to be the theme for the month. That is actually a slide made up of probably about 600 different pieces to put that one together. I was really happy with that one. I wanted to create a warm family atmosphere. All right, so with that in mind, let us move forward and welcome Susan, who will be leading the contemplative meditation with, of course, Jackson doing the music, and I will step down.
Before Susan leads our contemplative, you get to come over here. Oh, come here. Our council has decided that you are the member of the month for November. Right. And this is what it says on her plaque. It says, Susan is amazing. She's our head practitioner, wise and welcoming, caring and compassionate, all wrapped up in faith and infinitely patient with silly questions. She keeps us all inspired and scheduled, constantly working in the background, plus overseeing that the center's financial work is done well. Susan is a good woman. So, thank you. We thank you a lot. All right, so now you can go about your...
Now I can go about my other life.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. That's very touching. Okay. Back to the contemplative. I'm reading today from 7,000 Ways to Listen by Mark Nepo. And when I read this, it just kind of made me pause and really think. So I'm sharing it with you today. So I invite you to get comfortable in your chairs. And I'm sorry, can you not hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Thank you. I invite you to get comfortable in your chairs. Take a couple of deep centering breaths and go into your center, which is your home, your real home, your heart home. And just know that whenever you are there, you are at home. Imagine the first clap of thunder and how the sky heard it by letting it move through its blueness to reach the earth. Imagine the first rain and how differently the mountains heard it with their stone and the beaches heard it through their sand. Imagine how the sea listened to the rain by receiving it. Imagine the first birds driven to sing when hearing light. From our first waking moments, the life of experience calls us, willingly or not, into the apprenticeship of learning how to listen by receiving what comes our way and by letting things move through.
When this old world seems to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me.
And it is when I am still that I hear the inspiration, that I hear my heart speaking to me, the words of love, the words of life. And I know that it is the infinite universe that's moving through me, that is speaking through my heart, through my mind, through my very body at times. And I know that this is true for all of us, that we have within us the one life, the one power, the one presence. And when we are still, when we acknowledge that we are God's stuff, that is when we shine our brightest. That is when we share our light, our heart, our hopes, our dreams. And that is what this community is for, to support in good but times and bad times, in joyous and heartbreaking times. We come together. We offer our love. We offer our hope. We offer our inspiration to all that come and beyond. And so I simply know that this community is filled with light, with love, with the faith to understand, to know, to let things move through us, not stop us in our path. And so I know that this gathering today, as all gatherings, are filled. They are grounded in the one life. They are grounded in the presence. And as such, it is good and very good. And so it is.
I need to really I need to release all my sorrow. Then I'll find peace in a brighter tomorrow. If I just release all my sorrow, I need to be still. I'm gonna be free. I need to let go and let God love me.
Thank you, Jackson. And now let's welcome Reverend Angelica.
Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Susan. I'm going to move this up just a tiny little bit. So I bet coming in today was like coming home from school and finding out that your mother had totally changed the living room around. I forgot. You know, this is all my fault, I'll have to tell you that. I decided that for the new year, we needed to do something different. And one of the ways to do something different was to do something physical. And then Rick told me that his son Matt, who's a videographer and really well known for what he does, said that those lights from the windows should be where they are now, behind you all. And I thought, yeah, let's do it. Let's shake things up. Let's move it, make it different. So you can't see it now, but there was a chalk drawing of a semicircle here on the floor for what the new podium is going to look like. There's going to be a further screen that goes down that way, so those of you who use this door don't feel like you're coming right. If you're coming late, you don't feel like everybody's going to go, to look at you, right? But it's kind of interesting, this is our spiritual home, and to have it be shook up is a little disconcerting for everyone. I watched it this morning. The thing that I noticed that I had never even thought of was that we all have picked our seats, haven't we? And so suddenly our seats changed. It's like, oh my goodness, how do I do this now? But we will all find our right and perfect seats. Definitely. So I wanted to start out this morning. This month is all about home. And I thought that was a good theme for November because we're starting all the holidays. The holiday season is here. And during the holidays, we tend to think a lot about home and people that we love, and maybe, whether they're friends or family, whatever. And so the talk this morning is there's no place like home. And I'm going to start out by sharing with you what is going to happen during part of this month is that we are going to be following the hero's journey, or hero or heroine's journey. And so I'm going to share with you today the story of the Wizard of Oz. real briefly. So the beloved story of The Wizard of Oz begins with Dorothy Gale in the drab surroundings of her family farm in Kansas when a tornado touches down. With wind and debris swirling around, Dorothy gets hit on the head and is magically transported to the beautiful, dangerous Technicolor land of Oz along with her dog Toto. I thought it was interesting that this particular story was in the Global Vision notes because I happen to be taking care of a dog named Toto right now. Upon awakening in this new land, she learns that her house inadvertently landed on the Wicked Witch of the East. The Wicked Witch of the West threatens Dorothy for killing her sister, but Glinda the Good Witch intercedes, giving Dorothy the dead witch's enchanted ruby slippers, which will afford protection as she travels. Dorothy wants to get back home, so Glinda suggests that the Wizard of Oz may be able to provide assistance. As she sets out to find the great wizard, Dorothy meets the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion, who accompany her on her travels along the yellow brick road. The Wicked Witch of the West is intent on getting the ruby slippers, hindering and menacing Dorothy and her friends along the way. Dorothy transforms from the innocent child to the heroine when she slays the Wicked Witch of the West by dumping a bucket of water on her. In the last phase of her journey, Dorothy delivers the witch's broomstick to the wizard as proof of her valor, expecting him to provide her a way back to Kansas. The wizard turns out to be a fake. Just as Dorothy loses hope of ever finding her way back home, Glinda appears again and informs Dorothy that she has always had the power to go home. With that insight, Dorothy clicks her heels 3 times while repeating, "There's no place like home." At this point, Dorothy and Toto are magically transported back to Kansas. When she opens her eyes, Dorothy sees that she is surrounded by family and friends who love her and have been caring for her as she recovered from the blow to the head. Dorothy tells them about her adventure. They laugh. The movie ends with Dorothy exclaiming, "Oh, but anyway, Toto, we're home, and this is my room, and you're all here, and I'm not going to leave here ever again because I love all of you." Now, what does that have to do with us? Well, you know, the idea of home has been in the collective consciousness forever. I think that even in the more Aboriginal days, way before we became more conscious, we claimed our cave or our bush or whatever it was, and that became our home. And home, to me, there's that statement that says home is where the heart is. And home for a lot of people is that place where they feel safe, where they feel loved, where they feel it's okay to be themselves. Now, some of us didn't have that kind of a home. And so, for instance, for me, home was really scary. But I've never lost sight of that idea of home as being a place where I was safe, where I was unconditionally loved, etc. And I was looking around my house my home last night, and realizing, I found as a kid my safety and my love and attention in animals. And luckily, I had a father who brought home dogs from various places and cats, and I basically took care of them, and so they became my best friends. My dad, even me as a little kid, my dad got out of the car one day, and he had this beautiful Labrador dog with him, and he went in the house, and I hear him telling my mother, "She followed me from the California Club, into my office." Now, this is downtown Los Angeles. My father's was an international tax attorney. California Club is a men's only club. So yes, this dog followed him down the street to his office, etc. I mean, even me as a kid could think, who were you drinking with? But it was good for me because that was a great dog. All the dogs that he brought home were great. So when we think of this idea of our home and our journey in life, we realize, as Joseph Campbell says, we're the hero of our own story. We're the hero of our own journeys. And we begin our discovery of everyday wonder, which is the year's theme, home, which is the month theme, with our own hero's journey, which represents the outward search to find ourselves. But the truth is that the search is really inwards. We can find lots of things outside of ourselves, but that true home, as Susan said in the Contemplative, is our inner home. And this is where we're constantly trying to get to. So we go through this process of psychological and spiritual transformation, from innocent child to maturity, a self-actualized adult. And some embark on this journey with intention and others by accident. I don't think I intended to be who I was, not as who I am, not as a little child. I just was hoping to survive. But then when I went away to Catholic school and I experienced love and attention, and I lived there, so I decided I wanted to be a priest. So I think that's where my intention came in. Of course, the nuns told me women could not be priests. And then I remember getting really excited when the Episcopal Church allowed women to be ordained as priests. But I was already in the science of mind and doing quite well, so here I am. Campbell also says, a hero is someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than themselves. And I think there's also not only that desire to be totally accepted for who we are, etc., but to make a difference in our world. We all want to make a difference in this world. The journey entails a challenging evolutionary process that serves to shape, strengthen, and prepare us for our life's work. So this journey actually begins and ends at home. It begins at one home and ends at another. And hopefully it ends at our inner home. And so just to remind us, I know that most of us have heard of Joseph Campbell and the hero's journey, but just to remind us, there's 12 parts to this journey, but I'm not going to talk about those. I'm going to talk about the 3 phases of this journey: departure, initiation, and return. During departure, we basically leave the ordinary world and set out on our own call to adventure, or our own call to challenge. In my life, I would have to say, this is when I decided at 16 years old that I could not handle being beaten up any longer. It was time to leave, and I left. I actually left by accident because I had snuck out to go visit my boyfriend while my parents were gone, and came back just as they were getting back. And I didn't want to get in trouble, so I turned around and left. Never went back. So there's generally an initial reluctance to answer the call, which is overcome with the guidance of a mentor. During the initiation phase, we develop strength and character through enduring trials, tests, and tribulations with the help of allies and friends found along the way. Now, I would have to say that my very first ally was a policewoman. because when I ran away, I went back to my boyfriend's house. I hid in the attic of his closet with his mother's awareness for almost 2 weeks until she got really upset, and she was sure that my parents, because they were wealthy, were going to really cause a lot of trouble once they discovered where I had been. So she drove me to the police station and opened the door and said goodbye. So I went into the police station. I told this woman that I had run away a couple weeks before. She went through all her records. There was no report of my having run away at all. So she called my mother, and my mother says, nope, you keep her. I don't want her. And even though I could hear this conversation going on and knew what the results were, there was something in her that was really kind and compassionate, so that I didn't feel as scared as I possibly should have. Now, I did end up going to juvenile hall, and that was an interesting experience. I'll tell you, the first thing was my first day there. It's getting on nighttime. We're going into the dormitory, and one of the ladies, one of the young women who's also in there, says, "Are you gay?" I said, "How could I be happy?" I had no idea what she was talking about. I did learn, though, what she meant. But so, and then I went to court with my mother. Now, my mother had really long fingernails, long red fingernails. I've told some people the story of when I first started getting my nails done, how it freaked me out. But so I'm sitting there as a 16-year-old in this chair. My mother reaches over, we're in front of a judge, reaches over and acts like she's holding my hand, but what she's really doing is digging her long pointed nails into my skin. And I didn't want to say stop it or whatever. I didn't want to get her in trouble. You know, I mean, that was part of my initiation. But the judge realized what was going on, and he said, "I need you to split your chairs apart." And then he said that he felt I should be in a family where I realized what family was. And I ended up going to a foster home with Canadian parents who had been foster parents for quite a while, and they were wonderful. I felt like I belonged, finally. It was an amazing experience. So I would say that all of that is the initiation phase. And another thing I want to mention is that we do go through these phases, and the ending phase is return, but the person who returns home is not the same person who left. No matter what you've been through, from childhood on to the age that you are now, you are not the same person. You're not even the same person you were yesterday. I mean, we change physically constantly. We change emotionally and mentally constantly. And every single day we get to make a choice. Who do we want to be today? Who do we want to be tomorrow? How do I want to make a difference in the world? How do I want to experience my spiritual home? And so we develop, as we're moving along this journey, all kinds of thoughts, new thoughts and understandings, etc., that help us move from this place of childhood to self-actualized adult. And in fact, we're still moving into self-actualized adult. I can't believe how long I have been in this teaching, I've been a minister 36 years, 37 years. So, and then I was taking classes and things before that. So I would have to say, so I've been in the science of mind for 40 years, and I'm learning something new almost every single day. Something else about how I interact with the world. Something else about my story, my heroine's story. So, you know, at the end of The Wizard of Oz, Glinda tells Dorothy she's always had the power to return home. And this is my message to you this morning. You have always had the power to return home. And the home that I'm talking about is the inner home. We have to remember that the one who is watching us experience this life is in here. It's God. It's the divine. It's whatever you choose to call it. Dr. Holmes says, the Spirit of God is an undivided and indivisible wholeness. It fits all time with its presence. It fills all time with its presence and all space with the activity of its thought. Everyone is an incarnation of God, and a unique incarnation. All are rooted in the one life. Your endeavor, then, is not so much to find God as it is to realize God's presence and to understand that this presence is always with you. This is our spiritual home. Nothing can be nearer to you than that which is the very essence of your being. Your outward search culminates in the greatest of all possible discoveries, finding God at the center of your own being. Life flows up and from within you. So when you think of this idea of home, that place of safety and security, that place where you get to be who you are and are welcomed in that, to me that's what happens when we really allow ourselves to recognize that the presence of God is within us. And that we are actually God embodied as physical beings. We're actually the ones that, it's that the watcher, that's what I know it's the name of a TV show on Netflix or something, and it's a scary one, but that's not what I'm talking about. There is something within us that is witnessing absolutely everything that we're doing, and that is giving us ideas and desires and intentions, etc. The recognition of God's presence within is the realization that unconditional love, wholeness, and oneness is our spiritual home, which we can access anytime, anywhere. There's no place like home. So let's see our affirmation, and we'll go into treatment. Let's say this together. I affirm that what I have been searching for is what I have been searching with. God and I are one. The eternal flame dwells within me and calls me to my highest good. And take a breath. So think for a moment of home. Regardless of what your home was like when you were a child, think of your spiritual home. I tend to think of it as being that heart behind our physical heart, the heart of the divine. And allow yourself for a moment to feel unconditionally loved. Maybe that's a hard thing to understand. But unconditionally means loved just because you are who you are. There's no judgment, there's no rules. It's just because. So feel that unconditional love. And as you allow yourself to feel that unconditional love, which I know is the very presence of the divine, let yourself feel acknowledged. Let yourself feel a sense of safety. Let yourself feel the awareness of the presence that you really are. And I know for each of us that this week, as we go about our daily lives, we allow ourselves to contemplate this idea of our spiritual home, that we're carrying it with us, within us all the time. We can't get out of it. We can't get away from it. And it is a home of love. And so I know for each one of us that we will have an experience of this divine love this week. Something that makes us go, oh yes, this is what it feels like. This is who I really am. Embodied love. Embodied divine love. And now let's just feel grateful for that. So grateful for being known in the heart of God, for being blessed with unconditional love, for knowing that the more we allow ourselves to experience it, the more we will see it in our world. And so I celebrate all of us. I know we are love made manifest. We are all home, and there is no place like home. So with a grateful heart, I release these words, knowing that they are already done. And so it is. And now we have a treat for our musical gift this morning. Jeff and Karen are playing for us. So let's give them a hand.
With this change, there's lots of interesting transitions. Okay. So home is very much a comfort zone. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
It's psychological, emotional comfort zone, physical comfort zone. With this change of chairs, we're a little out of our comfort zone, would you say? Okay. So, to that cause, Karen and I decided to get out of our comfort zones. Okay, so this is totally an experiment. We've had a grand total of 7 minutes playing together. Yeah. Okay.
7.
About 5 minutes 2 weeks ago, and about 5 minutes this morning. Okay. Pardon the math. Okay. So we're going to experiment. I'm used to kind of getting out of my comfort zone musically and just going anywhere. So we picked a song called A Solon, which is an old English song where people go house to house asking for food because they don't have the comfort of home. So it's about that, but it's also going to be a lot of improvisation. I have no idea where this is going to go. Karen has never improvised before. This is her first time. So, I know forgiveness is very important with this.
You know what? There's no need for forgiveness. Spirit's doing the playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to go on with this experiment and see what happens. Okay. Jeff, have you ever heard Peter Polidori's version of that?
They're the version I learned it from. And I got to see them do it. What a treat.
All right, now it's time to think about the offering that we're going to be giving today. And let's say this affirmation together. I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses this center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. Hard when you got to chase down the basket. Come. So let's bless these offerings, knowing that there is only one source. That source we might call God. That source moves through us, joyfully giving and joyfully receiving. And so the center celebrates your gifts just as we celebrate giving them. And so it is. There is a slide for those of you who are on Zoom. And you can see where to mail or to use the online method. And let's move ahead. Who would like to read our community statement of inclusion? Go for it, Rick.
We, the Eureka and Ukiah Centers for Spiritual Living, are communities that celebrate diversity, foster inclusion, champion inner work, and create space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are communities that honor the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocate with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are communities that bless each other, see sacredness in all life, remain learners and listeners so that we may grow together and understand that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
Hey, thank you. And so let's stand and sing our peace song. Pardon me? Oh, who has a November birthday that we can celebrate? Donna and Brian? Anybody else? Oh, and Jeff, yay! And Dave, oh, all right, and Nancy. Hey, that's great. Very good. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. for you? And is there something that you think should be different?
The microphone on the other side of your lectern, so we can see your face.
Oh, okay. The microphone on the other side.
Disco ball.
Well, I was thinking, I know the mic got turned off. I noticed that you looked like you were having a little problem reading your notes. Some kind of light.
Yeah.
So that it gets
Well,
down to your paper. Right.
Was it bad with that on? You don't, it shouldn't be on?
It needs to be softer.
Oh, okay.
I think you need a little, like a clip on.
Yeah, we'll put something on here, okay. Is there anything else? What?
Have something else.
What?
I know that Sharice is here today, but she's in a wheelchair. There's this need and place, and I don't know, I just didn't see, but a place that would probably be close to where this wall would be, for a wheelchair or two or three.
We'll just move chairs.
Yeah. And there are, well, but I mean, for spaces that are already there, somebody comes in new and they go, what am I supposed to do? I don't know.
Well, we will figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yes.
It's nice to see the musicians, yes.
Oh, definitely.
They're
They're gonna be up here.
Good.
That's gonna be still the high watch spot for the practitioners, and the altar's gonna be over there.
And the screen itself is gonna be moved over here, where the okay, and the piano is going where the altar is. And the musicians will be up here. And then Marvin's stuff is all gonna be moved to
the back.
Up on the line.
Jackson.
I think that speaker back there should be moved to that back.
Yes, Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, I think so. We'll go from corners like that.
Yeah. We'll have to turn. Yes. You're right.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
turn
talking
that
about
on.
putting the projector up here off the beam.
Okay.
The symbol and all of that. Come back over here, all of that was here.
I don't know. Yeah. Thank you very much for your ideas. I'm glad that you were here this morning, and I know that we're all going to have a wonderful week.